Hello, good evening, one and all, and welcome to the day one of Industry Connect, brought to you by Industry Inspired. So, I hope you all are doing well. And today's session is all going to be about student entrepreneurship. And talking about the speaker, it is going to be delivered by Meraj Faheem. So, talking about him, he is the founder of the Hacking School, which is India's first coding bootcamp acquired by iCollege IU. And also, he is running multiple ventures, like in fintech, he is running trading systems, money messenger. In food tech, he is running a third party. So, today's session is going to be delivered by an entrepreneur who has a lot of experience in entrepreneurship, and today he is going to guide you towards the path you should follow if you are a student and if you want to step into entrepreneurship. So this is kind of a short introduction about Miraj sir. But now I would like to go over to Miraj sir and let him introduce himself to all of you. So hello sir and good evening.
Hi, Omkar. Thank you so much for the invite. Thank you so much for having me. First of all, you guys are doing a fabulous job, inspiring a lot of people. So yeah, like you mentioned, I have been an entrepreneur. I first started when I was in college, and since then it's been a roller coaster ride. And I think I have been fortunate enough to having got an opportunity to do what all I did so far. And in hindsight, I don't think I would trade it for any other experience in the world. I love everything that I have done so far, and I think I'll continue to do it regardless of what the outcomes might look like. And one of the most important things that I have, begun to believe is the fact that one of the most important factors for anybody to succeed is the number of attempts you're giving it, right? The number of trials, the number of times you're going to try something before you actually start seeing results, before it actually starts happening. And how all of this actually happens is when you give yourself to what you're 100% passionate about, right? And so one of these so the realization, although I've been a student entrepreneur, although I first started when I was in college, and then after that I did three other companies. The whole realization of how important student entrepreneurship is or can be only struck me 2 years ago when I was working, for the government of Telangana, with the government of Telangana actually, right? I was one of the 6 innovation fellows selected, for the first batch of innovation cell. Ministry of IT, Government of Telangana, and my focus was setting up of incubators and accelerators for the state. During this period of time is when I got an opportunity to talk to a lot of successful entrepreneurs, a lot of incubators, a lot of incubation managers, a lot of not so successful entrepreneurs, and everybody in between. And one very important factor that kept coming up again and again, especially focusing on what can we do to increase the quality of entrepreneurship in the state and in the country? What can we do to increase the success rate, the success ratio of entrepreneurs, the success ratio of startups in the country? When this conversation was happening with all these entrepreneurs, with all these incubators and incubation managers, one thing kept again and again, that what, people did not try enough number of times when they failed, right? They failed once, they gave up. They failed twice and they gave up, right? So the secret to success looked like it lies in giving it enough tries and not giving up until you make it happen, right? That resilience, that perseverance, that craziness, that tinge of craziness that you need when you are wanting to pursue entrepreneurship, that is technically what we felt was missing. Now comes the most important question: how do we encourage people to take more chances? How do we encourage people to try and take more attempts? How do we make people not give up so soon? And one very important thing that came up forward is by helping them take that call, helping them start as early in their lives as possible, right? The moment you start early in your life, the whole duration of experimentation that you're going to give yourself increases automatically. It's obvious, right? And that's when I started to focus more and more on students and colleges and institutions. And that's when I started talking to these people. When I started talking to these people, that's when I realized this is where we are, this is where we should be, this is we should be working with. And I started focusing more on setting up of academic incubators. I started focusing more on encouraging students to pick up entrepreneurship, to experiment with entrepreneurship, to experiment with the ideas that they have had. All of us have so many ideas. Some might have great ideas, some might have good ideas, and some will have not so good ideas, which is absolutely fine. We are a country of 140 billion people. Sorry, 140 crore people, 1.4 billion people. We have the highest chances to come up with the most successful companies in the world. And why do we have to come up with more and more successful companies in the world? Because we are one of the very few countries in the world to have youngsters who constitute majority of our population, right? Majority of our population, more than 50% of our population, is from 18 to 35 range, right? We are a country full of youngsters. We are a country full of life, full of energy, full of enthusiasm, full of excitement. And the only way to convert this energy into a positive productive energy is by giving it a direction. And what better than entrepreneurship? Why entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is one of those things that I call, if you're patriotic, then you have to try entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship will allow you to contribute to your country directly. You experiment with things, right? And you are never going to get the time of your life that you get in college, guys. The time you get in college is the risk-free time of your lives. That is the least pressure full time that you are ever going to have in your life. There are no expectations from you other than going to college, getting attendance, and coming back home, right? Other than your assignments and assessments, there's nothing else that you got to do in your college. And that is one of those areas, that is one of those places, that is one of those that's one of those times where you can give your 100% to something that you are passionately crazy about. Nobody's going to ask you questions like, why are you doing this and why are you not doing why are you not doing that? But the moment you finish your college, what's going to happen? We know it. And this is a cultural thing in India. People are going to ask you, what are you doing? आपका लड़का क्या कर रहा है, आपकी लड़की क्या कर रही है, right? Did they get a job? Campus placement नहीं हुआ क्या? And so many questions like that, right? Societal pressure, mental pressure, parental pressure, and so many other things will never let you experiment with your idea after your college. So what does that bring us down to? It brings us down to making sure we are making great use of our time in college. Okay, college is the best place for you to experiment with as many ideas as possible. Nobody's going to ask you, what did you do, why did it fail? Nobody's going to question you. And by the time, now let us assume, god forbid, whatever ideas you are trying, are bummer, right? They hit a hard road, and come on, let's face it, maybe you are not successful with all your attempts. You would have gained enough experience running, trying to make your ideas work, that any company in the industry would love to hire you, right? And you would have gained an experience of a lifetime. Building a company teaches you so many things. It's one of those holistic things that will make you a comprehensive individual. You would have gained enough skill sets that can get you literally anything that you would want, right? That is what we are talking about. That is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is not just about getting rich quick. In fact, entrepreneurship is not easy. Entrepreneurship is one of the most difficult things that you would ever try. But easy things never make you happy. Easy things are never going to, fetch you stars or the moons. For you to actually do something valuable, you will have to take the pain. It's like, wanting to go to gym and building the muscle. And when you are trying to build your muscles, you will feel the pain, right? But your outcomes will outgrow your pains. Your outcomes will start talking, and trust me, it's worth it. It's 100% worth it. When I was in college, I did not start because I wanted to be an entrepreneur. There was, in fact, there was what we did not even know the terms entrepreneurship and startup. To be very honest, the only reason why I started up was because I wanted a little bit of more pocket money, right? And I was struggling. I was trying to find reasons on how to come up with ways to make pocket money. And I don't know how many of you do this, but I think every college goer has done this, is guilty of doing this. And I did this, right? Going to google.com and looking for easy ways to make money online, okay? Work from home options, how to make money online, and stuff like that. I did that. I don't know if you guys do it or not. Tell me in the comments if any of you watching this has done it, right? I did that, and during that research process of mine, I came across so many ways, so many legit ways, and so many not so legit ways, and that's obvious, right? And one of the most legit ways was stock market. I taught myself how to trade, but it was not stock. I entered myself into foreign exchange trading. So there was this pain point. I figured out I had to teach myself how to code. I taught myself how to code, and it was a completely different journey from there on, right? Entrepreneurship is all about problem solving, and it starts from identification of problem. The more you observe people around you, the more you observe situations around you, the more you observe scenarios around you, you will find hundreds and thousands of problems around you, guys, which means there are hundreds and thousands of opportunity. And like I said, India is a country of 1.4 billion people, which means there are 1.4 billion opportunities, okay? And it's easy to become a billionaire in India, okay? How is it easy to become a billionaire in India? It might sound extremely easy theoretically, but no, it's also easy practically. All you have to do is find a problem that is affecting a billion people and sell your solution for $1 each. That's the most easiest way to become a billionaire. Now, what's the trick? What's the catch? The catch is, how do you get to the problem? For you to get onto your $1 billion idea, for you to reach to your $1 billion problem statement, you will have to go through a lot of cheap problems. You will have to, face and work around a lot of problems that are not even 100 rupees, not even worth 100 rupees, right? And that is a super painful process. There will be so many times where you will be bogged down with, losses, failures, outcomes that are against you, and so many things like that. And when all of these things happen, when all these things, continue to happen, they make you stronger. They make you, they teach you things that, you will hold very dear to you, very close to you for the rest of your lives. Okay, that is what entrepreneurship is all about. Learning how to identify problems, and then how to create solution for these problems. Now, however, there is also, fair bit of disclaimer I would want to give you guys. A lot of times, hypothetically, what happens is, the problem statements that we come up with might not be real problem statements. These might not be the problem statements that a lot of people are having. But since we get so obsessed with problems, since we get married to our own problems, that, we feel like this is the biggest problem in the world. We feel like there is nothing else in the world that is worth working on. We would feel like, if not this, then what? Why is not anybody trying to, why is not anybody else getting, what I'm seeing? Why can't, you understand the opportunity? And I have seen a lot of people, both student entrepreneurs and, matured professionals. These are those people who go and pitch their ideas to investors. They pitch this to partners, they pitch this to collaborators, they pitch this to so many different people, and they get rejected. And that's when they start saying or looking at things within themselves, and they're like, why can't anybody see it? Why don't they see what I see? And that's the root cause of all problems. Okay, if everybody is able to see it, it's not called an opportunity. And your first test as an entrepreneur starts in you sticking to your idea when nobody believes in you. All right, and that is more of an art than a skill. Okay, and you learn to live with it over a period of time. There will be so many times when your father, your mother, your relatives, your brothers, your sisters, your family and friends, right, they will mock you. They will be dealing with you in a different way. I'm not saying they're wrong, but what I'm saying, you should be expecting this. If you are choosing entrepreneurship, this is what you will be expecting. This is what you will be, thrown into. This is what is going to happen, and this is expected behavior, my dear friends. Do not expect your life to be easy. Do not expect things to fall in your lap. Do not expect opportunities to line up outside your door. Why? Because there are a billion people standing in the same line as yours. Why should market choose to work with you? Why should your partners that you are pitching should choose to work with you? Why should people choose to believe you when they have no reason to believe you, right? That's where your resilience comes into picture. That's where your strength comes into picture. That's where your perseverance matters. That's where your craziness comes into picture, that is going to tell people how badly you want it and how crazy you are, right? If you're not crazy enough, you're not going to get it. It's as simple as that. And what I'm talking about here is not general plain craziness. I'm talking about your belief in what you are doing. Now, mind you, please don't take me wrong, but yes, there that's where that's where everything gets started. But then you will have to have data to back your gut instinct. Not everybody is going to work with you just because you got a gut instinct, right? That's where you will have to find data to back your claims. You will have to find data to back your instincts. You will have to have data to validate your idea. You will have to have data to validate your opportunity, and more importantly, validate the solution that you have come up with. That is going to tell the people, that is going to tell your partners, that is going to tell your parents that what you're working is worth something. Okay, if not a lot, it's worth something. And there lies the key. Once you start working on it, once you start putting yourself into the process of finding data, once you put yourself into the process of finding validation to your problem statements, finding validation to the opportunities that you have found, that is when you learn the art of explaining things to people. That is when you learn the art of selling things to people. Selling is not just done for monies. You are selling every day. You're selling something every day to someone. Okay, and one of the most important things is um, and I think I heard somebody saying this very recently, but one of the most difficult battles is the one that you fight with your own loved ones, right? That's the battle that you don't want to lose, but you can't lose. You'll have to win that battle, right? And since it's a family, you can't even put your best foot forward. Why? Because that's your family. You can't go against them, right? Because they don't mean ill, they don't mean bad for you, they don't mean to hurt you. They have the best intent for you. But what's important is, if you are not able to show why you're doing whatever you're doing, then it's not your family's mistake, it's your mistake. Okay, so the art of selling starts from there. Okay, that comes into picture from there. You have to you'll have to convey your loved ones, to your family and friends, to your own people, that why are you doing whatever you're doing. You cannot run a successful company without the support of your family and friends, without the support of your parents, without the support of your siblings. Trust me on this one. Do not try and be a hero saying I'll prove you wrong. You might prove people wrong, but that's a very long battle and it's a very long fight, and trust me, you do not want to fight it alone. Okay, you need your loved ones by your side when you're fighting that battle. Okay, and if not anything, the battle becomes a little bit tad bit easy when your loved ones are by your side, and that is what I'm talking about. You have to have the support of your family, so please take them into confidence when you're wanting to start, and let them know why you're doing whatever you're doing. You are never going to get the time, like I said, and I'm repeating again, college is the best place to start up. Plus, the government of India, the state governments have come up with brilliant policies to encourage student entrepreneurs, right? In terms of seed funding, in terms of grants, collateral free loans. There are so many policies, there are so many schemes, so many subsidies, reimbursement, tax relaxations, and whatnot. There is technically no reason for you to not try entrepreneurship in college. Okay, and if there's someone who's the strongest believer of student entrepreneurship, then it's me. Okay, and that's exactly what I'm doing at Adventure Park, right? Everything boils down to, guys, how productive are you with your time. Okay, and like I said, the number of chances that you're going to take is how soon you are going to land with your first success. And that's a long process, like I said, and I'm just reiterating, and then I'm just repeating, okay, you will have to go through your fair share of failures before you land onto your first success, right? And that's exactly where the term fail fast comes into picture. All we want you to do is fail fast. Okay, the story of Angry Birds. Angry Birds was their 51st app, 51st application. It was the 51st game. Now just imagine, that was that game that made them billionaires. Okay, now just imagine the founders of Angry Bird giving up on their 49th attempt, the founders of Angry Bird giving up on their 50th attempt. There, it would have been this close, right? Just imagine how big of a loss it would have been, how heartbreaking it would have been. And that's what I'm talking about. Take that risk now when you're in college. Let me know if I can be of any help. We have a question. Media Nirvana. Hi, Miraj. Great stuff. This is Shravan. I'm a colleague of you at Accenture. Oh, wow. Lovely. I've started a digital marketing agency from Media Nirvana to promote all your ideas and products. You're an inspiration to me. It means a lot, Shravan. I hope you're doing good. We should chat sometime soon. Please ping me on LinkedIn or wherever we have connected. We'd love to chat. Suvarna, good evening. Drop in your questions and I would be more than happy to take your questions, guys.
Yeah, so are you done with your session, or maybe you still want to continue?
I'm actually done. There's just one last point about the government policies and schemes that I was talking about. There are lots of government policies and schemes, right, that you can avail from the incubators around you. You don't have to move. I'm from Hyderabad, and you can be from literally anywhere. Okay, if you're in Hyderabad, then you should definitely check out, the different incubators that we have here. These incubators do not just handhold you, do not just tell you, what to do, what not to do. And in fact, what becomes very important when you come up with an idea is not knowing what to do next. You might come up with an idea and then you stop there, you're stuck. You go like, what next? What's my step number one, step number two, step number three? That's when a great mentor, a good mentor, a good incubator comes into picture. Okay, a good incubator, a good mentor will actually help you figure out what your step 1 2 3 would look like. All right, and that's where I would strongly recommend you guys to go and check out your incubators around you. If you're in Hyderabad, please check out Adventure Park, adventure with an edventurepk.com. We are a student startup, student focused, startup incubator. And this year alone, the success stories have been immense. We graduated 52 companies, 52 startups, and this tells us India is full of potentials, and the time to start up is now. If you're not doing it now, you are going to miss the bus. Okay, this trend is not going to stop. This opportunity is not going to be lost. Someone somewhere will tap into that. Okay, so do not lose on time, do not think too much. A lot of time what happens is people tend to overthink, right? Okay, one last thing actually. A lot of times people think you need a lot of money to start up, which is wrong. It's a misconception. You do not need money to start up. Okay, if you're starting up the right way, you do not need money to start up, and that is one of the most important aspects of startup right. If you do not start up right, then you end up losing a lot of money. Okay, and that's a red flag, and you have to understand when you're doing things wrong. A right mentor will never ask you for money. Keep that in mind. Okay, find the right mentor or find the right incubator, and things will fall in place. Can you guys hear me?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Actually, just oh, sorry, waiting for network connection.
Okay, no problem. So that's
Yeah,
about it from my side. I'm open to take questions.
yeah. So everyone, if you have any questions, you can comment your questions below. But sir, is it okay if I ask a question from my side?
Yeah, sure, please.
Yeah. So the ventures you have been starting, like when did you start at? So what age did you start? Like like when did it come up to your mind that you want to be an entrepreneur?
My first, so I set up my first company when I was 19, I think, 18 or 19. Yeah. But then it was not because I want to set up a company. It was not because I wanted to, become an entrepreneur. It was because I wanted to make pocket money. I realized I can build something, and I taught myself how to code a little bit. Um, I taught myself how to sell it. I still remember, trying to figure out how Google AdWords worked in 2007, and yeah, it started from there. I did it for myself. I was not doing it for anybody. I was not doing it because Mark Zuckerberg did it or Bill Gates did it. Of course, they are inspirations, but also we'll also have to understand they are exceptions. They are outliers. You don't have to be a Mark Zuckerberg, or you don't have to be a Bill Gates. Okay, there are enough problems around us that we can focus and try to solve. So that's where it all starts.
Yeah, and like I also checked out the hacking school, like the institution which you have been running. So like initially, how was the response from the students when you initially dropped this plan, like this idea, the hacking school?
What was the what from the students? I didn't get your question.
Like the people who were joining your school, the hacking school. So what were their thoughts like when they got to know about like you are running such a school?
So when I first started, right, the hacking school, of course, the problem statement was validated for me, but convincing the market to pay for it was a challenge. And my friends told me I was crazy to do it because if you are in India and if you're in Hyderabad, you will find similar courses at a fraction of cost. Okay, that's one thing. And what's important is to believe in your idea. I believed in my idea. I believed in the market opportunity of the idea. I believed in the potential of the outcomes that I was aiming to deliver. It took me long time. It took me 2 years to actually, create something that was big and sustainable, right? So everything boils down to belief system. There will be a lot of naysayers. There will be a lot of people who will be telling you, nope, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not making sense. And to be very honest, if things started making sense to everybody from stage zero, then everybody will be doing it, not just you. So it does not have to make sense to everybody. Focus on things that you believe in. You'll have to be passionately crazy about it, and that's about it. Do not worry about a lot of people. So we have a comment
Yeah,
here.
thank you so much. Yeah, we have a question.
I personally think that there are great products sitting without reaching out to audience and started an agency firm to help startups. What are your thoughts on it? That's a brilliant idea. I think, in fact, I have been, trying to direct a lot of startups that I'm working with, via different incubators that I'm involved with and I'm advising. One of the most important areas where people fail is they started investing money on wrong things at the wrong time, and majority of their investments is on marketing without even understanding their product market fit, without understanding their unit economics, without understanding what segment should they invest on, right? Who their audience is, like Shravan rightly pointed out here in this comment. So that is the first step, right? So go get yourself a little bit of, you have to find yourself the right partners. You'll have to find people who will direct you in the right direction, who will point you in the right direction, tell you what you should be doing and what you should not be doing, more importantly, right? And that's key. So I totally agree with you, Shravan. There are lots of great products sitting in the market just because they don't know how to reach out to their audience. And you as an agency, I think you can do a great job in helping them, supporting them.
I hope that Shravan, your question is answered. So we have Sir here with us for like the next 15-20 minutes. So you guys can ask your questions if you have any. And yeah, we'll be waiting for the questions. And like before like we wait for the questions, I like so I am also an entrepreneur, just like I told you. Like this is kind of community which I run. But apart from that, I got an art startup that is Artistic Lane will be display all the art products. That is kind of a platform built for artists where
Okay.
they can sell their art online. So that is kind of my idea, which I started like when I was 19 years old. So like I was like I'm also into student entrepreneurship like from like the past 1 2 years, and it's been a great journey. Like initially, I was thinking that I should go towards corporate because you get money every month. But then when I discovered entrepreneurship and the benefits and the, just like you shared, the respect you get in the society, you get so I was very much fascinated by this, and I start working on it. Like I self learning has been my like key thing. Okay, so nobody taught me anything. I had to like go search, learn things, and implement it like you did. And like like listening to your journey in 30 minutes, I am like really inspired by what you've just shared. And thank you so much like for your time and for your knowledge. So media, like Shravan is also saying, thanks for sharing your thoughts. We are up to help tech guys who build products. So thank you so much for that.
Awesome.
Anyone, if you have any questions, we are happy to take questions. So please ask questions about like anything about like in student entrepreneurship. If you are a student, if you want to become an entrepreneur, like any questions would do. Just ask because like you'll not get this opportunity to interact with an industry person. Yeah, one more.
I have an idea for product, but how to turn the idea into real product and implement it in the market, and I can explain complete working type of the product using prototype. Okay, brilliant. So I think I get pitched about 30 or 40 times a week. Okay, and 95% of the times, people who pitch me, they tell me I have an idea. Okay, and it's the best idea in the world, but I need investment and I need you to help me to build it because you run a coding boot camp and you are the tech guy. Okay. Now it's not wrong in asking somebody for support. It's not asking, it's not wrong in expecting help, but I'll tell you the fundamentals of creating a business when you have an idea. Okay. Now this question is a beautiful question. It's a very strong question, and this question, actually forms the basis of so many other things. How do you turn an idea into a real product without spending money? Okay. The first thing is you teach yourself how to build the product, and then you do it, which is a long way. Second is you build your core team. You find a co-founder, a technical co-founder who will help you build, who will help you, build your idea with you, right? So both the cases, you're teaching yourself something. In case number one, you're teaching yourself technical skills. In case number two, you're teaching yourself team building. Okay. The two most important skill sets in the world are product development and people management. In fact, people management is more valuable and more important than the product development itself. Okay. You can find great product developers who might not be really great with people management, right? So people management is more of an art than skills again. So this is the process that you go through when you're building your company, and that's exactly why I told you, right? Building your company, entrepreneurship teaches you skill set that is not just going to help you build your company, and god forbid if your company doesn't work out, you would have gained skill set that the industry would love to hire you, would love to work with you. I hope I have answered your question.
Yeah, so top 10, I hope that your question is answered. So, yeah, so those are some good questions. Do you feel they were related to what you're doing, sir? Like,
So, what I would recommend you guys to do is check out adventurepark.com, edventurepk.com. If you have ideas and if you want to apply, we are starting our next cohort in January. So, if you think you have ideas that you want to take, off, you want to build, our pre-incubation program is starting from January. So, feel free to apply, and then we'll take it forward from there.
yeah, and so like just like we all are facing this pandemic issue, like every business is getting affected. How did you tackle that pandemic scenario? Like did it affect your business? And if it did, like how did you tackle it?
It did affect my business, to be very honest. But then this was one of those times, uh, you know, uh, theory of evolution. This is that time that proves theory of evolution, survival of the fittest. Okay, we were a coding boot camp, and one of our main specialities was we are a offline immersive coding boot camp. Last year alone in 2019, we have had students coming in from more than 10 different countries to India, Hyderabad, to spend 3 months with us learning how to code. And now with COVID, There were no international students. We had to do all of that online. Now the thing is, when you're offering the same thing online, there are hundreds of other portals that who are already doing it online. Our specialty was offline, right? Now that's where we had to innovate. My team, and I'm extremely proud of my team, we came up with 8 different product lines in less than 8 weeks. Okay, and we maintained our pole position. We evolved so fast. We were not stuck up with the fact that, oh my goodness, it's not working, what do we do now? We were very agile. We moved super fast. Okay, we reinvented. We were not stuck with the whole thing, okay, no, we will only do this because we have been doing this. That is wrong, right? And that's when we came up with our different product lines, and now we have expanded to 2 more countries, and we are doing better than before. Okay, and I think if COVID had not happened, we would have never taken the online plunge. Okay, so it opened up new doors for me. It taught me new lessons. It taught us many new things. It helped us create new products, and I think we are doing better than before.
That's good to know, sir. And this scenario like made you step into that field because just like you shared, you had an amazing team. So team is very much important. Like whenever we are running a business, because these are the few people who will be in the initial stages will be backing you up, and like you as a team would like go and like, achieve your dreams, like achieve your business goals. So that can be done with a team. And yeah, yeah. So I guess there are no more questions coming from the audience side. So that was all with the questions. So just like I shared, like a lot of people are still facing this issue in this COVID crisis. But I think that your experience, which you tackled COVID, like and the business scenario which you took over in this COVID scenario, so it would really help out the audience who is currently watching us. And thank you so much, sir, for your time, for your knowledge, and for your experiences. I hope that the people who are watching right now would get benefited, but still the people who didn't, who missed this session, the session would be posted. Yeah. So yeah. So we have one more question, sir.
To develop a product, what is the minimum team members required for initial stage? It's one, just one. Minimum is always one. Yes, absolutely. It can be any product. It could be your SaaS product, it could be an electronic product, it could be anything. Okay, it's all in your head, and that's where it all starts. Okay, just find one more crazy tech guy who understands the problem statements, who believes in your vision, who believes in what you want to do, and boom, you don't need anybody else.
Yeah, that is very well said, and I hope that the question is answered. So, thank just now we don't have any questions. So, like we'll take a leave, okay, and we'll end this session. And thank you so much once again, Meeraj sir, for your time. And like, to be honest, as I really enjoyed the session, I got to learn a lot of new things. I am an entrepreneur, but still learning from you was kind of beneficial. In this 30 to 40 minutes, I got to interact with you, I got to network with you, and so does the audience whosoever have asked their questions, they got benefited. And thank you so much, and all the very best for your entrepreneurial journey, for all the ventures you'll build in future, and currently you're working on, and like, more success to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Omkar, for having me. It was lovely. You guys are doing a fabulous job inspiring a lot of folks with your work. Keep doing the great job that you're already doing. More than happy to be of help even in the future if you need me. All right. Good luck with everything.
Definitely, sir. And thank you so much, everyone, for attending our day one session. So, talking about our session tomorrow, it is going to be delivered by Shri Kumar Nair, sir, who is a principal program manager for Microsoft, and he's going to talk about our platform, which is another emerging technology which is currently like being here in the field. So, do attend tomorrow as well with the same enthusiasm, with the same like enthusiastic attitude, and also do join us tomorrow for this session, which is going to be around like in the IST timing. It is going to be at like it is going to be in the morning, I guess. Yeah, it's going to be at 11 to 12 a.m., 11 a.m. to 12 noon. Please do join and like interact with Kumar sir. And thank you so much for joining and have a nice day. Bye.